Okay.
You need better posture. You need to sit up higher and your seat very, very proper.
There we go.
That's it.
Actually, I'm going to get rid of the crops now because that actually might help the situation. Let me get rid of crop. Then I'm like little.
How are you anyway, man? We haven't spoken in like 30 seconds. What's been going on?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good, mate. Nearly got a rebirth solo dub and then got absolutely slapped about by someone with a kilo.
That was crazy. The fact that you were like, yeah, let's just see what happens, and then you just went around without a loadout murdering people. That was
I really wanted the 10 bomb. That's what I wanted.
absolute goals.
So, have we got any ideas how to make this half and half? And anyone in the chat know? Yeah, Hutch is streaming. So, friends, if you want to see a much better layout than mine, go and jump on Hutch's stream to have a watch.
It's a bit better.
Focus this person.
I think that'll be permanent if you focus it.
Yeah, it will.
To...
Hey, I'm sick.
Did you?
I'm so good with technology.
Oh wow, there you go. Lovely. You love to see it.
Is it this camera as well? Yeah, it is this camera.
Beautiful. I only went live about a minute ago, Nat. Nat's saying that I'm not.
It's reversed. It's freaking me out a little bit, but I'll get over it.
Am I not streaming?
Hey mate, I had a trim for you today. Do you appreciate it? And I did my hair.
I do. You're looking fine, sir. You're looking fine.
That was for you.
Yeah. I thought I might as well put the effort in.
Look, I'll come back from Australia. Don't do it for my missus, but for you, I have a trim.
Can it beat it?
Hutch is quiet for me. Okay. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Don't worry. I can adjust this and then adjust this. Hutch, speak, my friend.
Hello, everyone. My name is
There we go.
Hutch.
Almost equal.
Almost equal.
Yeah, not completely, but almost.
Not quite. Cool. Well, thank you first of all for agreeing to do that. Oh, my voice went a little bit there. That's a good start. Thank you first of all for agreeing to do this. Sort of idea I've had for a little while, just to move it to the sort of, because not everyone always cares, and I'm getting follows pouring in from your chat. That's you love to see.
Yeah, things you love to see. That.
I actually haven't posted. I went live without telling any of the people in Discord and shit that I was going live, so there's nobody's here.
Amateur.
Yeah, Nat, if you would like to hop back on over to ProBhaer's chat and just sort of talk about how much better my layout is.
No.
What do we know? Yeah.
Mine looks great. Look, you've got mine and your face, and then that's all you need to have.
It'll do. It'll do. There's nothing. It just means on your screen there's no barriers between us. We're just we could be. I went the wrong way there on the cam. We could be sitting next to each other.
We could touch.
Yeah.
Wait, on my screen you've got a whole fisting. I just wanted a fingertip.
It's my style. I wanted. You don't only get a little warm bit. No warm up, fill in. I wanted to, obviously yesterday was your 12-hour stream, and I wanted to sort of go on a little bit about that, but I think I'd be out of order if the first thing I had before we even sort of agreed to do this was the first thing that I wanted to chat about was Choir Man.
Yes, mate.
Obviously, for everyone in ProBhaer's chat, I'll know anyone in mine who doesn't know, ProBhaer's just back from Australia, where you did how many shows in how many weeks at the Adelaide Fringe?
Oh, God. It was a lot of shows. We did, most of the time, we did 6 shows a week, but after the first 2 weeks had gone, it was 7 shows a week without a day off, and then also, on top of that, double show Saturday, Sunday. So what's that, 9 shows a week in the end? Which doesn't sound like a lot, but...
No, that's like obviously the show's about an hour, and it's pretty full on.
That's the thing. I've done other shows, mate, where we've done. I've done for like consistently for a year, where it's been 9-10 shows a week, but you're only on stage for probably 20 minutes, half an hour of that. But Choir Man is you're singing constantly for an hour and 10 minutes. There's no break. You don't have any song. Well, I have Under the Bridge where I don't sing, but the boys like Danny and Technic System doesn't have a break.
Singing and dancing, I heard.
Yeah, a little bit of Pina Colada dancing, I heard.
Pina Colada dance. We won't have a repeat, but if anyone's interested in ProBhaer's Pina Colada dance, there's a clip on his channel from yesterday.
It'll cost you 16,000 bits.
Yeah, made an absolute fortune off of like 40 seconds of dancing. It was.
I did one. How long did it take?
The best business I think I've ever seen. The art of the deal. It's Choir Man. How obviously that's your whole vibe is sort of the positivity and everything, and Choir of Man just sort of like pours out with that whole energy. Was that how was it that you got involved with Choir of Man and the way that those sort of came together?
A really weird connection. So some people in the chat might know this if they're performers, but I have an agent, and almost all performers have agents. And if they don't, they get the auditions themselves. But agent is almost essential in the industry. And my agent got me an audition.
Hi everyone.
God, actually, no, Absolute Lion Bar. This was me. I just graduated from drama school. I got an audition for a group called the Magnets. And the Magnets were a vocal group which a guy called Nick Dudson ran, and they wanted a really low bass singer. So I was like,
what a name!
I know, amazing, right?
That's amazing.
And he ran it, and he was like, come in for the bass role, great, sung it all right. And they were like, mate, honestly, we'd love you, but you're too young. I was 22 at the time, and they were in their mid-30s, so it didn't really work out. But anyway, skip forward to 6.5 years later, Rob West, who has never played COD in my life, was in an audition room for Choir of Man, and Nick Dudson produces Choir of Man, and he went, mate, we're looking for a bass singer. Don't suppose you know one, do you? And he went, yeah, my housemate. He went, who's that? No word of a lie. He went, Matthew Hobbs. He went, you know what? I remember him
from back in the day.
Yeah, and the fact he even remembered it made me so happy. He was like, yeah, I remember him. He auditioned for the Magnets for me like 6 years ago. I was like, wow, like fair play for remembering that. So through that, I went in the room, sung twice, did 10 minutes of a dance call, and I think they were very desperate for a pub bore role, which is my role, very desperate for it. So they were literally like, yeah, you got it. We'll trust you that you're a nice person. But I think it's complete coincidence that the show breeds positivity. I really do. I think it's complete coincidence that it's suited kind of what my ethos is anyway.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
For obviously not everyone will have caught because part of the amazing time that you had in Australia was the agreement. Was it the second or third last show that you were able to stream on your channel, and sort of taking that opportunity as the 100% gold standard human being that you are to raise money for charity. That was all sort of an impromptu thing. How much was it that by the end of it, because the producers matched it, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the producer said at the beginning, they were like, listen, unless you get a £20,000 donation, we will double your total. So we raised just over £500 and they match it. So it would be about £1,040 for Men Unite mental health charity.
That's fantastic. It's crazy for an hour's work. That's not bad going.
Mental, mate. It's very generous people out there.
Not the first time either, because you did the tournament not terribly long ago, and that was for Men Unite as well.
That's right, mate. Yeah, that's right.
We've just had the lovely Weasley Riddle special guest. What's special about him, Kappa, and my chat?
I'm fuming. Oh. I'm absolutely
fuming. Done you there.
Look at me. Look at my eyes. Look how livid I am.
Oof. That's chilling.
Yeah.
So that ethos that's carried forward, sort of wrapped up with Choir of Man, and obviously anyone who spent more than 25 seconds in your chat knows that that's just sort of what your entire community is built around. But 1,000 followers in the 6-7 months that you've been streaming.
Yeah, mate. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's frankly ridiculous, and we're all wondering exactly how you got away with that. But so when you went about starting that, I think like a lot of people, I mean, I'm the same. At some point during lockdown, decided to start streaming as an outlet for creativity, for loneliness and all this sort of things. My kind of standard weekend since I was maybe 11 had been hanging out with my friends, and we would always play games and just sit and chat. And after 6 or so months of lockdown, it was just like, right, okay, this is too much. I'm missing that more than anything else in the world. And I started to think, well, I could do that. I can still do the sitting, chatting, playing games with my friends, and decided to give Twitch a bash. When you were starting out, what obviously like 1,000 followers in that sort of period of time is ridiculous. But when you were starting out, what kind of steps, laying the groundwork for growing a community, where did you take anything sort of special? We all want to know the secret.
The wrong ones is the answer to that. I took the wrong steps. I'm not even joking. I jumped on the follow for follow train.
The dark follow for follow days.
Yeah, man. Like the reason I did it is you don't actually know this. I don't think anyone in the chat knows this.
We're getting exclusive
probably
scoops here. I promise to reveal all. Here we go.
it's the most boring reveal all ever, but you know I'm a big Chelsea fan. I started my own Chelsea Twitter account because I wanted to just kind of like see if I could make it a success in terms of maybe eventually write articles about the games or along that line. I know I wanted to do something online, and I know that a passion of mine was Chelsea. So I thought, well, combine the two. Anyway, on Twitter, a lot of the fan accounts are very much for follow. It's a very big thing over there. They don't mind because Twitter, it doesn't really matter if you follow other people. Like eventually people will be Judases and unfollow a lot of people, but people it's a very common thing over there. So I thought, come into Twitch, it will be exactly the same process. Follow, people will love it. I actually went in people's chats, not chats, sorry, tweets, and people were saying like about I literally had searched hashtag Twitter, hashtag Twitch. And I went in people's tweets and I commented them saying, I made it individual. So I looked at their stuff. I made an individual comment on their stuff, and I was like, looks great. Like I've just started out too. If you wanna give me any advice or anything, I'd love it. But
Sure.
I'd say, God, the high 90% of it hated it and said I was rude, and they were like, I don't know what you thought you were going to gain from commenting on my Go Live post. And in retrospect, of course they're going to react that way, and I get that. But yeah, the first steps were completely wrong, mate. The good steps, I got addicted to making connections. So when I first started, there was a guy, I can't remember his name now because he slowly went. He's a South African guy who was in my chat quite a bit at the beginning, and he was keeping me company when it was kind of down the average of 0.4 viewers a stream stage, and they were just keeping me company, and I loved it, mate. And I think, without going down the mental health route just yet, because social anxiety has been a big part of my life for nearly almost all my life, I had that social interaction without fearing any repercussion, without fearing of being judged, and it was amazing. Yeah. So I got addicted to that. And in a very positive way, in a very motivational way of addiction, rather than like I need it. It was a thriving to get more of that. So I just tried to treat every single person that came in like a genuinely lovely human, get to know them, get to know what they're about, and that's the kind of first step I took, mate.
And there's a lot of people, and you get a lot of sort of people telling you the same in the chat. There's a lot of people who will try that and from a very fake place, and it's impossible to sustain the level of sort of niceness and just level of genuine interest. As I said, it was, and I've actually got a question from chat, which is amazing. But it was one of the first things, obviously, as I'd said, I came at you. I think I came to your chat for the first time on a raid from the 44 Griffalo. And it was just a matter of like, everyone who followed, you just took the second to like get their name, and then like I've always found that like super impressive. Like I could tell you anything 6 months ago, and then you'll 6 months later I'll be like, oh, by the way, we were chatting about blah blah blah, and I'll be like, how do you remember that? I don't. So it's just something that you can't fake unless you've got a big massive notebook. You're just keeping a cheat sheet.
No, mate, all actors do it, so it works. But no, in terms of notebooks, by the way, not in terms of faking it. I struggle weirdly in life, as in away from online world, in remembering anything personal, names whatsoever, because my brain is going a million miles an hour. It's going, oh, that person looks slightly different at that. I wonder what the relation to that person is. And psychology stuff is going crazy throughout my brain constantly. So I never remember what people say. And I never knew what that was until I discovered Twitch. And I was like, oh, actually, I remember a lot. And I remember a lot about personal details when I'm not worrying about how I come across.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So it takes away that first sort of level. As you say, it's so easy to be concerned about. In person, it's easy to be concerned about, but also to misinterpret like glances or tone of voice and all that kind of things. But it's easier to just focus on what's actually being said when it comes across to you in text. The Jess Weasley Riddle wants to know, do you personally think you'd have hit the numbers that you're at now, the sort of averages of like 20 to 30, if you didn't stream every day, if you hadn't started streaming daily?
I thought about this morning. I don't know. I think putting myself out there for 4 to 5 hours a day is, of course, going to offer that opportunity. I think I found out the hard way in Australia that routine is essential. It's not even about time streamed, it's about routine. And now I've got back in a routine. The regulars who are in quite a lot are pretty much always there. Whereas in Australia, they'd be like, oh yeah, so I didn't know you were streaming, because they have their own lives. And usually people fit in around their own lives. They have a routine and then you become a part of that routine. So the fact that I'm streaming every day at the same time, people might, for example, they might be working on home at PC and they're like, oh, it's cool, it's ProBhaer time, right there on the corner, carry on my work. Whereas when I was in Australia, I saw, like, I'm not very numbers based, but it's quite obvious now I've come back that there is a big rise again compared to Australia, which was still great numbers, but not what I was used to. And I think that is a case of routine and keeping things consistent.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That was one of the first things I was actually told when I started streaming. I'm a member of a group called Pipeline. And
I was watching that stream earlier, actually, with Stone Mountain. I was watching him talk.
Him and Snoopy, an ex League of Legends pro, they had created it, and they do like the sort of playbook and they offer advice and all this sort of stuff. And one of the messages that a lot of people didn't seem to be hearing, but was the sort of the first one that sort of stuck with me, is that the routine's a really important part of growing a regular following. Because it was compared to me as being like, if you're trying to watch a TV show and you never know what channel or when it's going to be on, like, it's impossible to follow the story. But if you know it's on every Wednesday at 9 on ITV2 or whatever, you know to go there. Although your fiance's just outed you as saying that you don't have a good memory in person. So
see, she's right.
She's right. I do. It's awful.
It's awful. It's really bad. But online for some reason, just it's really, really, really good, which is weird. But again, it's the case of like, just quickly going back to that. If I like, this might be an extreme example, but if I shake hands with someone that I've not met before, or like, you know, introduce myself, let's say I'm hugging someone new, 70 thoughts will be going through my head of things that about myself, about the person, about the conversation that's going to happen. My mind races, but I just don't have that on Twitch, which is amazing. But what was I saying before that, bro? What were you mentioning about Pipeline? And oh yeah, routine.
Yeah, just how important the routine was. Part of what I wanted to ask, and obviously Jess is kind of taking care of it for me, is why the specific hours that you stream. It's currently a sort of split schedule you've got. It's the 9 till 12, and then is it 8 till 10 usually?
Correct, mate. Yeah, correct. Why then?
Yeah.
So originally it was 8 till 10, both times. And the thing I wanted to do the most was not be a hindrance on Claire's life. And that was my inspiration originally, doing 8 till 10 in the morning and 8 till 10 at night. 8 till 10 at night is after dinner, and 8 till 10 in the morning is, you know, Claire might still be in bed getting ready for the day. So by 10 o'clock we can have breakfast together, we can chill together. But as it got more successful and more I don't know what the word is, but as it got more successful, I just said to Claire, do you mind if I up the hours and change them slightly? Because I'm struggling to wake up at 8 o'clock, to be quite frank. And my numbers is like different. Yeah, you know, it's just to be, you know, quite frank about it. She's like, of course you can. But when I first heard about the routine, I didn't think, I watched a YouTube video I don't even know who the Twitch streamer is, but he had loads of subscribers on YouTube saying like first tips for Twitch streamers. I watched it and routine was number one on the list. And I didn't listen to it at first because I thought it was arrogant of me to think that people are going to set their routine around my Twitch. So I let my inner demon go, well, people aren't going to base their life around you. And the more I've got over myself, the more I realized just how important routine is.
Yeah, for, as you say, the regulars, there's a core group of people that you'll see basically in every stream. And others people obviously, even like myself, I'm working at this point, so during the day, when like yesterday was a great example of it, you were streaming 12 hours. If I'm doing some offline work, or if I'm having tech issues yet again, then I'll be able to sort of pop in and just have the stream open. But if I'm on the phones, I can't, so people will kind of filter in and out, but knowing that it's there or at specific times kind of answers that question.
Exactly, mate. And my mate just said 2 questions. He said, 1, do you use a ruler for your hair? I don't use a ruler for my hair. For some reason, at this angle, the quiff is feeling it. And usually it's an absolute knob and it doesn't do what it needs to do. But today, Blake, I think I must use a ruler or a bowl. And he's also said, next question, you thought about a feature wall colour for that wall behind you. I'm thinking a nice copper. I have a remote somewhere. But anyway, moving on.
Jess has got another question actually, and I think it kind of relates back to what you had done, because was there, I'll ask a question first and then we'll lead into that. Was there any point you knew that you were going to Australia for however many weeks to perform Quiet a Man? Was there any point during the run up to that or the consideration of that where you weren't going to take your streaming equipment?
No.
No.
It wasn't an option. It was part of the deal for taking the job. That's how seriously I am involved in streaming at the moment. I spoke to the producer and he was aware of my Twitch situation, and he knows how this is the end goal for me. Twitch is the end goal. I want to do this for the next 10 years, 20, 15 years, 20 years, how long Twitch lasts for. This is what I want to do. So he knew that, and I've said in the past I don't want to go away because of Claire, one because of my life here, and another reason because of Twitch. And there was no situation where I wasn't going to be streaming. I bought a monitor over there to stream. Like I made sure I had a dongle to hotspot in case the internet went down, all these different elements. And I knew that I could either, even if I couldn't financially excuse it and it didn't make its money back, I could, in terms of thinking it purely in a business perspective, I could excuse it in terms of growth.
That makes sense. To lead into obviously the question that Jess has asked, are you concerned if at any point you get a big job that you won't be able to juggle streaming, working, and to add on to it your personal life?
Again, it's not even a thing. I don't know how much I can talk. I can't say exactly what said offer was, but I was offered to go away again in May, and it's for 4 months, and it's in America, and it was going to be all in one place. So it was going to be great. But number one reason was not going away from Claire, but number two reason was Twitch. That's how big it was. So it'd have to be a massive job to take me away from this, because I get so much from it in every way, shape or form. It's food for the soul is how I feel Twitch is for me.
So we'll have to wait and see if you get offered like Javert in the West End or something before you have to make that sort of consideration. And I'm sure you've just earned brownie points with the tier system you've put in place there, with the fiancé and with the viewers.
Yeah.
Your content, like let's take a deep dive. Why Warzone? That's the whole question.
I think weirdly, and I might be reading too much into this, but I overanalyze a lot. I think because before I jumped on the whole Twitch thing, and I had the history with gaming when I was younger in terms of COD gaming, and I spent a lot of my years doing escapism in COD, and I spent a lot of hours on it. Knew I wasn't bad.
Was it Black Ops 2 that you played professionally?
Well, it was professionally. I've now since regretted using the word professionally because I never got paid for it, but it was competitive. It was highly competitive. It was like top end competitive level. In the very first podcast I did with the Honoris Boys, I said the word professional. I was like, I shouldn't have really used that because I didn't get paid for it, because now we see people get paid millions for it, so it's very different. But back then it was as close as I could do without going to LAN tournaments. But yeah, I played competitively on COD 4, COD 5 and Modern Warfare 2, and then I went to drama school, so that completely cut off. But came back here and they were like, oh my god, there's a Call of Duty battle royale out. Oh, it's amazing. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And I think, without reading too much into it, to go back to my original point, it allows myself not to doubt myself in terms of, I said in real life situations, sometimes I get in my own head about things. I know on Warzone, I'm a half decent player. I'm not the best in the world. I'm not the worst in the world. I'm quite good at it. So I don't have that inner demon going, people are judging what I'm doing, because I can rely on the gameplay to take that away. And I've not really thought about it until you asked why Warzone, but I think that's what's happening in my brain. It's going, you're confident in this area. This is what you do. And I think it's to compare it to acting world. If I went into an audition with a song that I've sung a million times compared to a song that I've never sung before, I know which one I'm going to be much more nervous about.
Does it make it easier? I mean, obviously, like the skills are transferable. Like you could quite easily play Modern Warfare or the Black Ops Cold War. Does it make it easier if because there's not a scoreboard? There's not a Warzone isn't a win-loss scenario. Your team wins, your team loses. There's obviously it's a longer process than that. First, second, third. Like obviously you want that win as many games as possible. But top 5, top 10, like there isn't a all or nothing, you win or you lose situation.
That's true. I've not really thought about that. That is very, very true. It's not win or loss. It's kind of like hope you win, but there's loads of different good losing situations. Yeah, I've not really thought about that. Potentially, mate. Definitely, maybe a no, but definitely not a no.
With everything that you're sort of into and playing at the moment, obviously Warzone will take up most of your time when it comes to gaming. If you were to wake up tomorrow, Warzone was gone, and he just decided to close the servers, there's no more Warzone, what direction does the stream take? Do you move it to a different game? Does it become permanently music based, just chatting? Obviously, it's a big decision to make on like the cuff. But if Warzone died out or went away, and you saw those warning signs coming, what would be lined up after that?
I'd be worried because I've been looking at a couple of my mates who have recently found their niche, their streaming niche, and they're doing amazingly. And I feel like Warzone is my streaming niche, so I would be worried if it did go, because my brain would go, well, fuck, you got to start again. You've got to find something now that you can also relax on. Because weirdly enough, I do actually relax while I'm playing Warzone. I find it relaxing. I often get really like, into it that I can't really have to chat. So I mean, it would have to be another. It'd have to be another FPS. It just would have to be. I don't think
the transferable skills that
yeah, and I wouldn't have my confidence in. Like I love RPGs. RPGs are actually my favorite genre, but I wouldn't have the confidence in myself to play an RPG. Like I love Cyberpunk, but I would never play it on stream.
It's a different beast. As someone who plays almost exclusively offline content, yeah, it's the game, especially with RPGs. Like we're not long finished a 150-hour odd playthrough of Final Fantasy X with all achievements,
Sure.
And there's times in there where the game is doing, in terms of viewer engagement, the game is doing none of the work. With Warzone, there's always kind of something going on, and obviously they can pay attention to that, or they can pay attention to you or to chat. But with certain RPG games and things like that, there's too much. There's a lot of downtime. So it is a completely different beast. You're not at all wrong there. Nat wants to know what what do you think of people who come into your chat asking for you to watch them or follow them without even knowledge of your stream?
She knows my answer to this. Can I quickly pause it and say, Wild Bilsam, thank you for the raid of 10 people. You lovely, lovely person. I know, as you do, right? As you do. Wild Bill, thank you so much, mate. Welcome everyone to the chat. We're just doing a podcast with Mr. Hutch, the Clutch legend himself, otherwise known as Hutch'n'Such Talk. So can you ask that question? What was Nat's question?
Nat's question was, what do you think of people who come into the chat asking for you to watch them or follow them without any knowledge of your stream?
I mean, I've had a bit of it recently, and I just try. I think, as a broad statement, I try and add more positivity in the world than negativity. So even if something pisses me off, I try and strangle it with love. So if that is the case, and they go, for example, I've used this example before. A guy he was called something Pongo, and he came into my chat and he went, "Follow me on Twitch." First thing he said. And I was like, right, okay. So Pongo, first of all, how are you doing, mate? Like, what's going on? He then chatted and said, yeah, good, mate, you. And I was like, bit of advice, that's the way you start, man. Because this channel, you won't know. I love following other people. I love knowing.
I don't think I've ever seen someone come in and make a connection with you that you haven't on stream there and then gone and followed, so long as they've made that little bit of effort first.
That's the thing, mate. Make the effort first. But I mean, it's inside, it makes me go, oh god. But then I have a word with myself immediately and go, this person might not know the vibe of Twitch. Like, I was that guy. I didn't write follow me on Twitch immediately. I'd get to know the chat for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour before I jumped on and maybe hinted towards streaming, or admittedly in a selfish way. But they might not have the necessary social skills to know that. You never know what their predicament is. So I always give them way more benefit of the doubt than they need to. And then almost every single time, they then say, okay, fair enough, I understand what's gone on, drop me a follow, and then I end up following them. And I don't think it's a particularly healthy way for anyone to do about their business, because people are horrible. But I personally, it's not ideal, but I don't mind it happening because I eventually speak to them.
That's fair. You're, as an aside to that, from what I was just saying there, your phone with going live notifications on Twitch must just never stop with the amount of channels that you follow. It must just be notification after notification.
I had to turn it off. Bro. Yeah. Now because it used to kind of like pressure my brain into going, oh, you've got to watch this person.
Yeah.
And it wasn't healthy for me. So now I realize that people don't expect support for support. They don't expect that. They expect love for love, which is more than doable. So now what I do is, if I'm chilling on the sofa with the missus, if I can't speak to them, I'll lurk. So I'll go on my homepage. If not using my app, I'll go on my homepage. Oh, amazing! Griff's online. Boom, look, put it on my sofa. That's what I'll do. And I don't know what my original point was, but yes, my phone was going mental with live notifications, so I had to turn them off.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Oh.
I would say that was for you. It wasn't for you, but I also do love you, Hutch.
It was for your lovely fiance. I've got both chats open. Another couple, actually, my chat are coming up with better questions than I did. So if you were to move away from Warzone, do you think your next game, you've obviously said it would need to be a first-person shooter, is it the Battle Royale in general that holds your interest? Like, would you try Apex or PUBG or...
I tried Apex before I did Twitch. I tried PUBG before I did Twitch, but on mobile. Battle Royales is a very new concept for me. I was a S&D player, a domination player through and through. So I like the tactical 6v6 situation. So I'd happily go back to that if it was competitive. But I think I do really, really enjoy the Battle Royale mode now. I've had a taste of it. Like Battlefield 6 looks amazing.
And mentioning there the sort of team versus team sort of more tactical gameplay, I'm still pushing for you to give Rainbow Six Siege a shot at some point, because that's that to a T. It's very it's a lot. The games are a lot sort of quicker, but with like shorter bursts of action and lots of preparation and stuff like that.
It gives me the fear trying a new game, and I need to get over that.
If you ever
fancy not being good
playing Siege, let us know, and me and the guys will show you the ropes.
Yeah, mate.
Jess has asked, if you were offered a sponsorship for a product that you don't necessarily endorse personally, would you take the money even if it's not a product that you would buy or use yourself?
I had that exact situation with I can't even remember the name of the company, but you might have been around when this happened. So someone, I think it's called B Livery, I think it's called. I remember it being something to do with a B and delivering such shit. Randomly came into my chat and said, "Listen, would you open to a discussion about sponsorship and whatnot?" I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know what it is."
You're streaming.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah. And again, that would have been the case. Usually, you'd be like, "No, here's my email." But eventually, we got talking, and there was a certain offer on the table. It could have been not massively lucrative, but could be good. But as long as I preached something that I had never tried before, and it didn't sit well with me. So I said, listen, I need to enjoy the product. I need to use the product. And I just couldn't bring myself to go, I'm going to pretend on screen that people should buy this product that I have no idea if it's good or not.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting to see some of the stuff that sort of happens behind the scenes. Or in front of the scenes, even if they've just come into your chat. Because we've recently started playing a JRPG that's not, it comes out on this Friday coming, but it was a similar sort of situation, only rather than popping into the chat while I'm playing something and starting up that conversation, they sent me the Twitch whisper, saying, look, had an eye on your stream, blah blah blah, do you fancy sort of having a look at this kind of thing?
That's so awesome, by the way. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I bet it gave you such a buzz getting that. You were like,
absolutely.
Oh my god!
And it's made even better by the fact that I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. Like, I'm not sponsored or anything, so I don't mind sitting going, buy Divided Ratings now on Steam. But it's like I'm thoroughly enjoying it and would recommend it to anyone who's into that sort of style. Bogus Strand, hi Bogus, how are you? Bogus is asking, you stream FPSs almost exclusively when you're not singing, but what do you like to watch on Twitch? Is there a specific game or genre?
Games are absolutely relevant. I watched Cryptic Lion play Magic the Gathering for 2 hours, literally like a month ago, and I had no idea what was going on. I 100% go for the person, and that's not even like 99%, 100%. I used to watch before I was in Switch. I used to watch like people like Thinned, like I didn't really watch Symphony. I watched clips of Symphony, but they were crazy COD players, and then I got bored because there's only so much quickscope you can watch. But personality and charisma changes constantly, so I'd rather watch an entertaining person who can constantly entertain you rather than sit gameplay. I'll watch a YouTube video if I want to watch that.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, you can watch pre-recorded videos if you're not there for the interaction. Oh, Canadan, he's never watched me playing anything though. Winky face.
I have actually. I watched him playing Dragon Age. My memory's good online.
What about Dragon Age? Nice one.
Wait, no, that might have been Kenwa. Never mind. That might have been Cassie Blake.
How good's your memory? Sorry.
Wait, was it? Please tell me, was it Dan? Or was it Dragon Age? Because that was months ago. It was your first ever stream I watched.
We'll see.
Wait, his answer. It was his first ever stream. I watched him.
The caps lock. I've never played Dragon Age in my life.
I'm really hoping it is now. Because he did say had a good memory online, so let's hope a bit. I can remember it was his first stream anyway, and his camera was set up. It was below him, and it was facing up. It was like he was sat on a stool. I remember it well. It was when he was in isolation.
It certainly sounds. He says he has streamed Dragon Age, so you're probably on the money there. Look how proud of himself he is. Can we? No, bogus. You can't. So. Chat wants me to eat some of the beans, but all of the channel redemptions are off for the evening because I'm a serious interviewer now.
Except when Claire comes in, right?
Except from when, yeah, that's the only exception. And I had that sort of said in my head that all the channel redemptions are off, but I owe Claire a free channel redemption because I misspelled her name. So she's allowed one, nobody else is. You can come back on Friday for that. Wink. So we know a little bit about your relationship, if you like, with Call of Duty through your sort of teens and then obviously now. What are some of the other, I would call them landmark games, the sort of big games, whether from childhood, the games that had that massive impact on you during the sort of when you're learning what games as a medium and as an art form are. Like the big one for me is the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like I'll still go back and play that game that came out in 1996 or something. Yeah. And it's aged horribly and the graphics are rubbish, but it just means so much to you on a personal level. It's like watching a movie you liked as a kid and you know it's crap, but you still watch it. What are there any games like that for you from back in the day?
Well, weirdly, this might be the craziest moment ever. I think an old school friend, I think I know exactly who it is, has just come into my chat for the first time, and I think I was going to mention the game that we used to play together. This is absolutely insane coincidence.
No way.
What is it? Synchronicity, the expression. So we used to play, if it's the guy I think it is, we used to play Dynasty Warriors together.
Oh yeah.
We were obsessed with it. Scaredy Matt, is that the Matt I think it is? Because that is an insane. Oh my god, it is as well. Oh my god, the actual synchronicity of that moment is blown my noggin.
We live in the Matrix. The whole thing's a simulation.
What the hell, Matt? He's also called Matt. So yeah, me and Matt here. I was going to mention the story. We used to play Dynasty Warriors together, and I remember the moment when we must have been, beginning of secondary school maybe, and we got a thing called Double Muso by accident when both the characters used their special move together. And we just both looked at each other and went Double Muso, and we went mental. So that was one of them. Dynasty Warriors, Fallout, Skyrim.
Yep.
I can go back to Skyrim now, Oblivion as well. Go back to that as many times as I want. I actually play a lot of Football Manager offline. I've had Football Manager the past 14 years. I've had it since it changed from Championship Manager.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I've had it on my Steam. My Steam is just every year of Football Manager counting down. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've got a good 1,000 hours in the FIFA games over the years, but yeah, I've never played a Football Manager. I think the more simulation side of it isn't. I don't particularly enjoy the tactical aspects of football.
But all the FIFAs, of course. Yeah, all the FIFAs definitely. The staples were I played a Baldur's Gate when I was younger as well.
Oh yeah. Amazing.
That was the one that I played a lot. I played it with my mate Alex. I used to play. It was a Rainbow Six game actually, but I don't remember what it was called. Anyway, one of those ones. That was my first FPS shooter. Oh my god, Medal of Honor: Rising Sun. That was my first FPS shooter. What a game that was! Medal of Honor: Rising Sun. I used to play against the bots, thinking I was playing against real people, and I did really well. And I thought I was amazing.
For sure.
and I was not.
Your fiance's taking me up on that, and I need to knock the door. So
Yeah,
I'll have to tweak my camera slightly. So give me just a second.
Okay, I'll chat to Chat quickly. Chat, if anyone's here from the raid, thank you so much for jumping in. Sorry, I didn't give you all the love you deserve, but thank you for jumping in on the raid. I appreciate you all.
I can explain that to ProBhaer's chat as well. For anyone who doesn't know what the door, why I have to knock the door. There's a door behind me when I stream, as you can see. It's just a door. There it is. Just a regular door. My chat are obsessed with this door, to the point where there's a channel point redemption here to get me to knock the door, and it's a symbol that I have lost complete control of everything to do with my life. But I need to let the girlfriend know that the door is getting knocked, and then I need to knock it. So give me a second.
Knock it to let her know. Edgy, I can't believe you're in here, mate. That is actually one of the craziest bits of synchronicity I've ever seen in my entire life. Mental, mate. I didn't know you were into your Twitch, Edgy. Didn't know that at all. But yeah, everyone who's in here and I've not replied, I'm just doing a podcast, so sorry if I don't reply to you straight away. But I'm with Mr. Hutch doing a little interview, so sorry if I don't reply. Position. All the love. Here comes the knock. I'm ready. Listen. Oh, I didn't hear it. Did you hear it? I didn't hear it.
There we go.
I didn't hear it, but I hope the chat did.
Oh no, this mic was muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, fine. I've
got you on this mic and I've got chat on this one.
I think I've got you through both. Is this the one? Is that the one? Can you hear the tapping?
No, actually. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I didn't know which. I know I've got the chat through this, but I didn't know I got.
I've always got it set up so that they're separate, so I can, like yourself, I can mute that one to talk to chat. It's not often that I'm speaking to anyone on Discord unless I'm playing Siege on stream, which doesn't happen usually. Just fix the cameras. Okay. Oh, my camera's gonna fall. Very professional. So, Dynasty Warriors, I actually wouldn't have had you pegged as a fan. I've never played any of the Dynasty Warriors, but they did a Legend of Zelda spin-off, the Hyrule Warriors games, which I was a huge fan of. So I get the appeal. Yeah.
I didn't know that. No, I'm actually at heart. I'm definitely an RPG player all day, every day, and MMORPGs as well. I used to play a weird game called Nine Dragons. It was this kung fu kind of MMORPG.
There's no beans to
name it. Love that.
A kung fu MMO.
Yeah. That's what I used to play.
I don't think I've ever played any MMOs.
Not World of Warcraft or anything?
I never really get into any of them. Most of my friends have played at least a little bit of World of Warcraft, or I think I tried to get into the Lord of the Rings one, but just sort of didn't really have
me too, yeah. I tried that a bit and then it died pretty quickly from what I remember.
Yeah, no, it's not really... I played a lot of League of Legends, the MOBAs, never into Dota or anything like that, but I played a lot of League of Legends.
Me neither.
So much so that there was recently a conversation in your chat where people talking about playing League. And obviously, I now know they're referring to Black Ops League, or the
not League of Legends.
I assumed they were talking about League of Legends, and I was like, oh, that's me. I'm out though. I'm out again. I've got an on again, off again relationship with League of Legends.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Is there any more? Because no, Gordon, I'm not knocking the door again. You know that there's a limit. There's a 1 per limit. Yeah. Yates. We've kind of touched on it, but where do you want to take your streaming? What's the end game? At what point do you sit there and you say, streaming completed it, mate?
Oh my god, what a question.
I know my chat are better at this than I am.
I don't really have one. I'll tell you why. Like growing up, I've been obsessed with like city builder games, life builder games, improving characters, improving stuff like that. And I've always gone in my life, I'm thinking, I need something that I can actually do that in my life, where I can improve my own life. Suddenly Twitch comes along and I can then do that. I can level up my career. And I see this as a career now. So there isn't an end game for me. It is a consistent, I want to build and just make it so. But actually, no. One of the end games is I want to build a mental health positive team that can go in and raid smaller streamers with just fuck loads of communities and just pile on the. If I know someone's going through a tough time or something like that, we can go and jump in a stream and just jump in with 2,000, 3,000 people. That is one of the end games for me. That I can build a team of like Twitch mental health advocates. That's one of the end games I have in terms of like a goal. And then in terms of like the end game in terms of progression, there really isn't one. I want to go as hard as I can for it.
Why are you like a living saint? Why are all your answers just so wholesome and about other people? I'm trying to dig up dirt here, and there's just none to be had. You're squeaky clean.
There's a lot of dirt, mate. It's not come out yet. No, I found out recently, very, very recently, that one of my checkpoints. You think you may have heard me say this on stream before, but one of my checkpoints is I need, in order to feel fulfilled, I need to help someone. I need to have that feeling that I've helped someone do something, and I did a mental health first aid course over lockdown, and that was a temporary fix to I can then help people. I volunteered for a group called Men Unite, which you said earlier on, where I spoke to people if they were, on, let's be very frank, on the verge of maybe killing themselves. I would kind of try and speak them out of it and just chat to them and make them feel better. That then dissipated a lot when I came to Twitch because my mental and emotional energy was towards Twitch. But now Twitch is here. It has ticked that box. It has ticked that need to feel that you're helping people.
Yeah, because every time you hit that go live button, you're spreading that, really. There's obviously people, myself included, who like when they see that go live notification, they're like, yes, good times, here we go. Because your chat and your stream itself, it's like an emotional salve. It just always makes everything just that little bit better.
It's insane, mate. It blows my mind to think people think that. It absolutely blows my existence in two. That it just, again, my soul is it's filling up like with fucking goodness. That's how it feels when I know that people actually feel a little bit happier after watching my stream. Like it proper gets me like in the feels. It gets me a bit emotional. It's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, there's no two way, because if we didn't, we'd stop coming, wouldn't we? So
yeah,
there's not really any way to kind of avoid that. No, you're getting all the love from your chat there. Meanwhile, my chat are asking, I don't know if they're asking me or you, but I've got someone asking if they'd do 50,000 channel points for a shirtless stream. That seems like a great way to get banned. Thank you.
Don't worry, I had a bit of shit from one of my mod speckers earlier. Don't worry, it comes in waves.
Yeah. In terms, obviously, as we've said, your whole thing, and we've seen it every stream basically. The offer is there. If you see or even sense that someone's going through maybe not their best day, like the offer is there. Like you can DM me, or if you're happy to chat. I don't know how many times there's been conversations just out in chat when people are happy enough to, or brave enough really to, if they're having like serious issues, to put them out there. There's been some really heartfelt sort of some conversations to be had there. So facilitating that, it takes a great deal of strength, really, because like I think a lot of people try to be that person, but obviously if you've got your own stuff going on and still feeling that need to help other people with their stuff, it can cause all like extra burden on yourself. But obviously if you've ever felt that way with any of us, you've never shown it. Nat saying, ProBhaer, why do you feel the need to camp in Warzone unless Nat's with you and she's to carry you?
I quote, can I come out yet?
Yeah.
Can I come out yet? Bit of context, chat. Playing the first game with Nat, i.e. iDwarf Gamer. Played our first game together probably a few months ago. Took on a team of 3. Killed him. 3 seconds later, Nat, can I come out yet? So before she gives me this camping shit, she needs to address her own. Thank you. Scene.
Oh, shut down, Nat. There you go. Yeah, so no, I wanted to get that in before I lose my train of thought. We're chatting there obviously about the environment, the safe space, if you like, and that's a phrase that gets ridiculed nowadays, but like your chat does feel like one of the best safe spaces like I've certainly ever encountered. How, and like I obviously know we all obviously know that there's times when this has happened, but how do you personally deal with when your approach and that safe space is taken advantage of?
Yeah, it's difficult, mate, because I try and give people 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chances. I need to. It affected me more early on in the early days. There was a specific incident where I think I was taken advantage of in terms of trying to give kindness and trying to give advice. I won't say their name because I gather they actually still watch, even though they've been banned for about 4 months. But yeah, it hurt a lot at the beginning because you feel embarrassed. You feel extremely embarrassed to have gone, here is me.
Yeah, you're
emotionally
literally putting yourself out there naked before the world, and there's
yeah, exactly. And I was messaging said person offline a lot because that said person was saying some very personal details about how they were suffering, and it really made me scared for their health, for their physical well-being. So I spent a lot of time trying to help that person, and then to find out that person was maybe lying about certain things, you can't really trust them. And it feels awful, but I will say it dilutes. The longer you stream, the longer you experience that, the more you experience it, it dilutes the negative feeling that you get. Now even though I still give people the same amount of benefit of doubt, I get less emotionally invested when I feel any sense of doubt. I trust my gut with that kind of thing.
Yeah, you'd have to, otherwise, like, you just burned again and again, really. If you don't have that. Obviously, it sucks that you have to have that kind of filter or what have you, but having it is important when you're hoping when you're putting up that sort of environment. Thank you for that, Nat saying, really enjoying this. Hope this will be a more frequent thing. I'm very much enjoying it. I can't speak.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't speak.
No, I absolutely
am.
I'm really enjoying it.
This. I've actually already got ideas for sort of where we could go next. I mean, now that I've set up the beautiful scene on
right, I need to see this.
Streamlabs.
I need to see this.
Yeah, bring it up on the massive iPad.
This iPad is normal size. I have big hands. Wait, that doesn't make sense. It'd make it look small. I have small hands. Right. Here we go. Oh, but you know what? That looks sexy as hell. And that's just your face.
There's a space just above where you are where I'm going to get something made, maybe like a little banner or something that says Hutch'n'Such.
Oh, love it.
And then I've got, obviously, your Twitch.
I'm not reversed as well. I'm not reversed in your camera, which makes me happy. In my camera, I'm reversed.
Oh, yeah. So you are. That's weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to keep you on lurk just for that.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. Bosh.
Yeah, there was I had a question and now I've forgotten it, which is a shame. But yeah, so obviously we're just sort of going over the we spoke earlier about the money you've raised rather between the two events. It's coming up in like £1,500 for Menu Night. Is there anything like that coming up in the future?
Yes, there is. I can't. It's gonna sound like I'm being like, oh, you can't talk about it, but I don't. Sounds like I'm some kind of multi-buddy crazy streamer, but no, there is something in the pipeline. Yeah, it was going to be involved with this Friday's community tournament, but it just takes a bit more organizing than I am mentally prepared for, because last time it nearly tore me in two mentally because I didn't prepare as well as I thought I had.
I think there was a lot of lessons to be learned from the last one.
God, yeah.
Setting up,
God, yeah.
Did you not end up with just names on bits of paper and stuff like that?
Yeah, man. Like, it's not really, as you probably know, it's not really my kind of thing, the organizational side of things. It never has been. So I struggled, and it was the first kind of shred of anxiety I've ever felt since I had the council in. So to get that feeling, I was like, that's something I need to avoid. So I'm slowly working out how to do that logistically without having the pressure of people, of 80, 90 people going, so what team am I in? How many kills did I get? Like, I was getting messages one every 3 or 4 seconds of people. So it just made me go into like panic attack is an exaggeration, but a mild one. It was like,
no, I think that's fair, because all of a sudden you've got, there was how many? There was like 100 and something people there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got, like, if you were standing in a room with over 100 people saying things at you, like, that's too much. That's overwhelming. So it's no difference that it's just a notification on Discord or Twitch or what have you. It's the same sort of thing. I think something in terms of something I've very much appreciated your openness with, and it's helped me come to grips with like, sort of just being open about it and stuff like that. As you've said there, like you've done some counselling and stuff like that. I think it's really easy to, as I said earlier on, there's people who are like they're always the go-to person, but they don't take care of, or maybe sometimes don't know how to take care of themselves. That was, we're opening our souls here, and we've got the ladies in my chat are just being
going off
mean girls. Not saying can this be the last time Pro comes on? I cannot take the moist hairdo.
Moist, what are you on about? Look, it's not moist. If it was moist, it'd be flat. It's hairsprayed. Very much hairsprayed.
Yeah, we can tell.
It's
got a shimmer to it.
A shimmer. A shimmer.
Do you have, curiously, do you have a pair of sunglasses and stand next to your logo in the back there? I'm thinking with your hair the way it is, you're pretty spot on for your logo.
I don't, sadly. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm literally below it as well. I do have sunglasses somewhere.
You'll need to get
that shape as well.
Dug out, yeah.
I think I know where they are. So before the end, I will
get them.
The way
it is tonight, it's
oh yeah,
it's looking pretty spot on. That'll be you.
This is usually how I leave the house. I never leave the house without like proper doing it up if I'm going somewhere. So stream doesn't really see this because I wake up out of bed, get a coffee, and whack a hat on.
Yeah,
I do have hair. But going back to the counselling thing, mate. Yeah. Hands down, the best thing I've decided to do in terms of regarding my mental health. I've gone from, and I imagine I'm quite a rare case, but I've gone from high functioning social anxiety to having social anxiety once every 4 or 5 months, where I was having it pretty much every time I was in a social situation that wasn't my fiance or close family.
Yeah.
So now to have that and to literally go and speak to people without having that constant judging yourself is just a weight lifted. And like, even if you've got friends who can speak and you can listen, who are really good listeners, they're not going to be the equivalent of speaking to someone professional, because not just because they're trained, they are completely impartial. And it's so important, because even if you don't know it, you will be monitoring the way you say things and modifying the way you say things.
Oh my god! With the sunglasses.
Oh
yes.
my god! Oh my god!
Yes. Amazing. Stand up next to those are. Why don't you stream with those on at all times?
I wore these for the last Pride event I went to.
That's amazing. It's the same thing. That's phenomenal. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, chat appreciated that one.
Good. Thanks, Claire.
You said something there, and the clarification there I thought was really important. You said obviously about close family gatherings. I mean, I know I'm not alone in saying that, like especially if you have a big family. I've got quite a big family. That kind of thing can be not necessarily intimidating, but it can be exhausting.
Sure.
That kind of thing. It's like I think a lot of people would expect. I'm normally quite introverted. Obviously, I think a lot like yourself. It's just easier on Twitch. I can do dumb shit like forward rolls and battering shit out my door and stuff like this. Just because it's easier and that kind of thing. But a lot of the time, even family gatherings and even hanging out with friends in certain scenarios can be draining. Me and my 3 best friends, and we've been best mates since we were like 11 or 12. A few years ago, we went to London for the League of Legends World Championships quarterfinals. We're at Wembley, and we went down, and we were only there for a long weekend. And at the end of it, I was just like exhausted. I just wanted to curl up with a book for like a week and just recharge the batteries.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's sort of knowing that kind of thing. In yourself, like I think everyone has different kind of warning signs. I was the same outside of that sort of thing, and being like a generic introvert who like obviously can socialize and did a little bit of musical theatre and sort of like stuff like that. It's easy sometimes to put on the performance, but it gets grating after a while. I feel
recharging the batteries is the perfect way of putting it, mate. The perfect way of putting it. Sometimes they'll drain slowly, sometimes they'll drain quickly, but they will drain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's anyone who... And I think that's why your work, especially with Men Unite recently, has been so important. I don't think there's anyone who's coming out, or when lockdown one day ends in the UK in 50 years, I don't think there's anyone who's leaving lockdown the same person that they went into it.
I completely agree.
I'm definitely not. I've never, outside of, as I say, sort of been a bit of an introvert and that kind of thing, I've not struggled with mental health or anxiety or any of that sort of stuff in anywhere near the orders of magnitude that happened over lockdown. So there was a lot of a learning process there for me, because a lot of people, and I think that's, as I said, why your work with Men Unite and such are so important, because there's so many people who this is new and they don't know or understand why or how, like, why they're feeling the way that they're feeling or how to fix it. I certainly didn't, and as you're aware, I've done some what's it called, cognitive behavioral therapy, and spoke to the doctors and all that sort of stuff. And as you said earlier on, there is a difference between chatting to a friend who'll sit and nod and let you rant, and chatting to someone who's trained and completely impartial.
Huge, mate, huge. Like I didn't really know I had any form of anxiety until probably about 2 years ago. Because I was a performer, I was high functioning, I could go to social events, have a laugh, have a great time, but didn't realize that the strong punching feeling in my solar plexus was anxiety. I didn't realize that not everyone had that. I thought it was a common thing that everyone felt, everyone went through, and it wasn't really a thing. So I just dealt with it, and I thought, that's the way I am, that's my personality. Sometimes I'm extroverted, sometimes I'm introverted, that's just the way I am. And having someone to sit down with them and I like explained, which I'm sure we'll get onto, the like experiences I had as a kid and then growing up in school and stuff like that. And then when that all came out on a plate, the counselor went, well, of course you're, excuse my French, of course you're fucking anxious. Like, of course you are. Like, what are you on about? Like, why would you not be? And then suddenly I went, oh yeah. And the way my brain works is I like knowing reasons for things. So now I know the reason behind it. My brain has processed it very, very well compared to beforehand.
Yeah, and I think some of these points are really resonating, especially with your chat. You've got Andrew J. Carter there a few minutes ago has said,
yeah, I know Andy Carter.
Did you ever have people find it hard to understand that you could perform to hundreds or thousands of people and still struggle with anxiety? Definitely something I've had.
God, yeah,
absolutely.
Oh God, oh my God! Like people just this go, but you're a singer. Yeah, but I'm an actor. So like, you know, you act not having social anxiety. And when you're playing a character, that anxiety doesn't come with you. Like, and Andy Carter played my part. He was the original, you know, I played the pub boy. He was the original pub boy in the Cry of Man productions.
Sure.
So he knows exactly the kind of way about it. But yeah, people don't seem to understand it at all. They don't seem to realize that you, when you're acting, you're putting on a different character. So it's I suppose you compare it in a way. This might be a really wild comparison, but schizophrenics. Wait, am I saying that? Why am I saying that weirdly? People with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
I did say that. Have like different personality changes where they are different people entirely. And that person doesn't feel the mental health or physical problems that the other person has inside their body. So a very, very, very mild form of that is when you're acting, you don't feel the anxiety and mental health problems that you had when you were yourself and not acting.
Yeah, for sure. And the lovely Circulina in your chat, that was definitely her issue, trying to figure out when you felt something that you weren't supposed to feel. Yeah, because if you grow up and you've just got that thing, as you said, it's been fairly long standing. I mean, we're approaching this from different sort of perspectives, because my struggle with this sort of thing, my journey learning how to deal with these things is recent. As you've said earlier on, it's longer going, but more recently getting solved, or not solved. That's a terrible word to use for it, but
dealt with.
Yeah, you know what steps need to be taken now that you're getting. Obviously, as you said, there's stuff you've touched briefly in the past about you're getting sort of bullied and things like that.
Yeah.
Which, look at this man. Look at him. How can anyone bully that guy? Which I suppose, actually, now that I've said that, that's not a very helpful thing to say at all, because it kind of relates back to the fact that
fine,
even the most confident person in the world, every time before they step out the door, could be in the panic sweats and anything like that.
Sure.
It's just that's not the side of that you see.
Well, I wasn't always kind of like I am confident now. Yeah, I am confident now. But pre-counselling, I wouldn't have said I was confident. I'd have said that I was assured, but I wasn't like confident. But now I say confident. But at school, no way. The bullying was quite intense. but I played football, so I didn't get like the crazy whole school bullying situation, but I had bullying from my friends. My friends were the one that bullied me, so I would kind of go to gaming to escape, and we're a bit of like, I don't mind talking about it on chat, because I think it's useful that if people have had a similar experience, it might help them. Like my social anxiety sprung from my mates used to knock on my door to get like to see if I wanted to come out and have a laugh and have a banter, but that would always involve me being bullied. So my social anxiety would go,
is at your
yeah,
expense. Yeah,
exactly, man. It wasn't even a laugh with kind of situation. It was like, what can we make Matt do now? What can Matt do to make us laugh and stuff like that? And that lasted for years and years and years, all the way from primary school to like year 9. And that is why my residual social anxiety was like, if you leave the house, you're gonna have a tough time. And that's what my brain was doing. If you meet new people, they're going to judge you the way you were judged when you were younger. And as soon as my brain took comprehension of that and went, that is not an experience you're going to go through anymore. You're a different person. You're an adult. You've got a lovely career. You're very lucky that people see that career and instantly give you some sort of respect for it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you've instantly got that kind of what's the word, stepping stone up to counteract bullying. So once I got over that fact and my brain went, no, these are the things that you can say are good in your life and you can use as backup, it dissipated completely. But yeah, the bullying was quite bad, but no, better place now.
Well, that's obviously what we like to hear.
Yeah, man.
Giz, thank you for the follow, and Giz has also just said they're listening to us has made him feel 100% better. So amazing.
Yes,
Gizmo. Great to hear it. We know you've been sort of struggling with stuff, so that's awesome.
Yes, it is sick, Lena. Yes, I didn't do CBT, but I did just counselling, as in counselling session, which is therapy. I think is the same thing, right?
I would imagine so. Counselling, like the majority of the stuff that I did, what I did was called cognitive behavioural therapy. So rather than, the idea behind it was identifying why the thoughts that occur to you that create the stress and the anxiety and stuff like that happen, and then sort of cutting them off at the step. It's like finding a leak in your bath and fixing it. It's like finding where the issue is and then training it to not be that way anymore. And there was parts of it, especially at the start, it talked a lot about, oh yeah, we're going to teach you how to think more positively about things. Like so you've got 2 people and they both get given the same news, and one of them, because they know how to sort of react to things more positively, will react to it better, and one of them won't. And at first I thought, this is a load of bollocks. Like, you can't just tell me, oh, think about things better. But as you went along, like it helped a lot. I'm loath to say I'm not sure what helped more between that and Twitch. Probably a lot like yourself, but like side by side, going hand in hand, they were both instrumental in getting through the when lockdown started to get real, which towards the end of the summer was really when that started to occur, because over the summer, especially up here, people were going to each other's gardens and having barbecues, and it was easier to still see people if you could sit in their garden, even if you're a few feet away. But then obviously as the weather got worse and the nights got longer and all that sort of stuff, it becomes more difficult, and then at that point lockdown started to feel more real. So Twitch and the therapy sort of hand in hand. And I think a big part of it that not a lot of people realise as well is it's a difficult path to start on if you don't want to take that first step, like any journey. But in terms of actually getting the help and things like that, it's easier than you would expect. It was actually I've got poor hearing and tinnitus, and I was speaking to my audiologist, because tinnitus can be quite heavily related to stress and stuff like that, and they had me fill out a questionnaire. Yeah, so like days, like if I'm having like a bad day on the phones or whatever, or just in general, like the tinnitus is like louder, noticeably louder. It's worse, which then stresses me out. So like it's at that point that I know that I need to kind of take a day or whatever to just kind of, as we were said earlier on, reset the batteries. But the audiologist gave me a questionnaire sort of thing to fill out, just generic questions about how you've been feeling, how you're doing, all that sort of stuff, and going through it. She came back to me and she was sort of like like, we've read your answers here, and like, wait, are you okay? Like, sort of thing, because I hadn't thought anything of it. I had sort of been noticing a steady sort of slow decline in mood and energy and all this sort of stuff. As you said earlier on, it's kind of just that assumption that everyone's feeling the same, and they were like, no, we think we should speak to the GP, and then that kind of started it going. There's some really, really positive, wholesome messages coming through in both these chats, and it's really,
yeah, man.
I'm really loving it.
Yeah, so me and Jamie Lyon have actually never met each other, but we've got friends of friends, a lot of mutual friends. We technically sung together because we did an online concert together for a friend. So he's in a separate video to me, but we sung in the same concert, but not at the same person, at the same physical location. But I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, it's something I've only recently been able to open up with, and I imagine the same with you, Hutch, just because you don't believe it's something that's worth talking about. That's how I said it. I say it's not a big enough problem. People have got worse problems. So why would I even talk about this? People are just gonna laugh at you.
And
it's just not the case at
I
all.
think we've both challenged that line of thought in your chat since then, because I think the idea behind that is if you can't complain because someone else has it worse, then there's only one person in the world. The most miserable person in the world is the only person who's allowed to complain, and that's just not how it works. Like, obviously I could be having a shit day, and my shit day could look completely different from your shit day, but it doesn't invalidate either of our shit days. It has to be. It doesn't like. There's the whole sort of idea that, just like the idea that because someone else has got it worse, you should just button it up is not just nonsense. It's actively dangerous. Especially these days. ProBhaer, after today, are you going to continue doing podcasts on Twitch? Nah, this isn't his podcast. This is my podcast. This isn't his. That question's
it's because he knows you are going to continue. You know you are.
I'm 100% continuing. This has been awesome.
I would love to do that. Yeah, it's something that I don't think I'm going to do as of yet. I'm going to let Mr. Hutch do the amazing interviewing, but
steal my thunder.
In the future, yes, but not anytime soon.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for that, certainly. Because you've been on a couple before. You said that there was one that you can watch on YouTube. Is that right? Or there's
the Honoris Boys. They did a podcast with me. Like I think it was like within 2 months of streaming, so very early on. And it's an absolute pleasure to speak to those lads. Two of the nicest lads you can ever meet on Twitch, by the way. Flawed Tomato and Cryptic Lion. Just ridiculously generous in every way, shape, or form, mentally, physically, financially, everything.
For my chat who might not know, Honoris is an esports organization, but they are obviously more than that. It's a community more than anything else. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go for it, mate. No, absolutely.
Just a sort of little bit of context there, but I don't really have anything to follow that part up with. That was That was good. But no, I mean, there's a couple of people saying, like, it does take, in a weird way, it feels like the people who can sort of stand up and talk about that sort of thing, their struggles is obviously you have, and like what they've been doing and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's a very easy reaction to think, wow, that's really brave to like be able to sort of put that out there, but that shouldn't be the reaction. Like, obviously if it was more normalized, there wouldn't be a stigma to it, and it would be easier to talk about and all that sort of stuff. But
it's getting better.
We'll get there for sure. I think there's been a lot of work done over the last several years. It's probably becoming more and more acceptable, and I think over the last year,
sure,
with lockdown, like, a lot of people, as I said, myself included, are having to take a good long look at what they're actually experiencing and consider that that's not the norm, sort of thing.
I agree, pal.
Gizmo's just said Gamma's just joined Honoris, hasn't he? Part of their
He has.
Cold War
he
team.
Has indeed. What an unbelievable addition that is. Yeah. Again, another just a lovely soul. Like, you know, when someone's soul is just fucking glorious, he is one of those people. I've never met the boy, and I cannot wait to go for a pint for him. He's 21, 22, and he just has a head on his shoulders of a fucking, like, guy who's lived for 200 years. He's just so emotionally intelligent and so lovely and warm. And
I wouldn't have guessed he was as young as that from chatting to him in your chat.
Exactly.
That's fair enough. Like, I suppose there's I mentioned that I did a Facebook post on my Facebook page for the Twitch stream, referring to you as one of Twitch's up and coming streamers. You had that projection of obviously ideally being able to apply for a partner within a year, The support over the last month or so, like from Australia coming back, the live show, the 12-hour stream, is that turning any gears in your head to thinking, wow, maybe this is coming sooner than I could have ever imagined?
No, no, it's not. Because I've got a goal in my head, and it took a hell of a lot for me to admit that that was my goal. So now I set that goal for that year. If it by some case magically comes sooner, amazing. But even if, like, I can honestly say, even if it stays exactly where it is for the next 5 years, I will be buzzing. I will be so happy, because this is a positive positive thing in my life, but in so many different elements that I'm hesitant to say, oh God, it could come to me, because of the growth in terms of community has been insane since I come back from Australia, and that's been 8 days. Yeah. So it has been unbelievable, but I don't want to get carried away with myself, because I'm happy where it is. I don't want to be greedy. I love what it is right now, and I don't need any more.
Yeah, because I thought that when I was sort of planning this out, obviously I had a chat with this. This started as an idea because I was playing Metal Gear the other week, and my friend Darren gets these stupid ideas in his head, and
yeah,
he just he runs through them. So we were chatting while I was streaming, and I thought that chatting part of it is something I've really missed, because almost everything I've played when I've been streaming has been sort of single player content. So I'm interacting with chat, but I'm not sitting talking to someone. And Darren's someone I've known from almost 20 years, and I thought having that actual conversation. Am I right in thinking this is the first time you and I have ever actually sat and had a voice video conversation?
And it feels like we've done it for years, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, I was thinking
I had the same experience with the boys. I had the same experience with the Honoris boys, mate. It was the first time we'd ever interacted voice to voice rather than voice chat to voice. And it just felt like it's happened many times.
A lot of people discredit the how easy it is to build links through, obviously Twitch is one, or Reddit or YouTube, or like online. That's how people, and it's something you can be, these youngsters these days, that's how people are doing all their socializing at the moment, especially when you're locked in your house basically. So like those become very, very real friendships. As much as they start as, this guy looks entertaining, I'm going to watch his stream, he's good at Warzone, let's find out more about them, they become very sort of real. Like the amount of, you're going to be drowning in drinks when people are allowed to meet back up, because I'm pretty sure everybody in your community wants to buy you a pint.
I fucking need to return the favour to literally every single one as well. Can I just comment on what Kenneth said at IEMK?
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I think that's what I was trying to articulate very badly when you said about the partner thing. If the goals, because I said this about 12 times, but numbers are so irrelevant to me. But it annoys me that in order to make the next step up in Twitch, a number is a part of that. And that is the only reason I even think about numbers, is the fact that you have to get this number to get Twitch partner. And I know that's just a title, but that title means that I can focus my whole life on Twitch. That's why numbers have to be involved.
Yeah. And obviously, like the vast majority of streamers, like the reality is that affiliate is the sort of the entire journey for the majority of Twitch streamers. But I mean, with the growth and stuff that you're seeing, I don't think your plan of hitting that partner within a year is unrealistic.
Well, thanks, mate.
You've got to get there. I don't see it.
It just gives me the excuse. That title, I actually had this conversation with Claire a couple of nights ago, and I said, let's talk theoretically here. Let's say I'm extremely lucky, and this amazing Twitch community that I've got grows and grows and grows and grows, and it becomes to a stage where I get Twitch partner. Is it something I can take up full time? Like, would you be happy with that? And she was like, without a shadow of a doubt, yes, just do it. And I think because the name itself just gives you that excuse to go, this is my job. At the moment, I see it as one of a few jobs that I have, and then I can say this is my primary job, which will be awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, you've said at this point, this is your main job, obviously, because the industry isn't there at the moment, and ideally that starts to come back, and that actually kind of links into a question that Nat's just asked. ProBhaer, do you worry or think about what it'll be like when life does get back to normal? People start getting back to their lives. Does it sort of ever worry or concern you when you think about if the numbers start to drop, or is that just not something that even phases you to consider at all?
No, I think if that happens, it's absolutely fine. Like if people have lives, and people, me worrying about it and me thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen to the numbers, does nothing to change the fact that life will go on.
That's true.
So if I can't change it, why worry about it? And if suddenly only three of my community come to stay with me, I then have 3 beautiful people who keep me company every day. That is honestly wholeheartedly how I feel about it.
That's probably the healthiest way to look at it, because if you're, I think it's very easy. I mean, even comparing it to what you said earlier on about like sim games and management games, it's very easy for you to track your success, your growth and your success as a number. But obviously, if your entire self-worth or whatever is based on that number and you obsess over it, as soon as that number isn't what you want it to be, then everything that you've got sort of built internally can come crumbling down. So as you say, not considering it or thinking about it or anything at all is the healthiest and most sensible way to sort of
I agree, mate, and that's why I don't have any worry from keeping the numbers on in the top right corner for my stream, because I don't have any relationship to that number. I don't have any positive or negative connotation to that number, which is useful. What was I gonna say? I can't remember. Something related to mine. Oh yeah, in terms of how I rate a good stream, you were saying about like instead of numbers, if I've had people that I interact with a lot come in, great. And if I think, how many new connections have I formed today? That's kind of my checkpoint. How many old connections have I kept going, and how many new connections have I built? That's what my mentality is after the stream. Has it been a good stream? Yeah, so I found 2 new people who are lovely today, and so and so and so and so was in here.
I think both of those things balanced equally is so important, because it's really easy to get, as you say, wrapped up in the follower 998, 999 follower 1,000.
Sure.
But obviously, like, you're aware that the people who come in every single day, or the people who were there when you were at follower 5, 6, 7.
Exactly, mate.
There's obviously equal value placed, and I think that's an impression that you definitely get.
Good.
In your chat for sure.
The numbers thing in terms of followers,
greeting that every person gets. Obviously, there's some people that you're more familiar or casual with about it when they come in.
Sure.
But the fact that every single person gets that same level of attention when they say that first thing in chat, and then you try and respond to everybody equally, rather than like the sub badge doesn't mean anything, the bits badge doesn't mean anything, the VIP badge doesn't mean anything.
No, actually, you know what? No, I one thing, the VIP badge does mean something to me. It does. The bit sub, anything like that, irrelevant. But the VIP does, because I see the VIPs and the mods in my chat as the foundation of my channel. They are the linchpin. Is that the right expression?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the spine of my channel. So if you've got a VIP in your name, if you've got a mod in your name, they are the most important people in this channel. And that's not to say that anyone else isn't. It just means that these people have been amazing to me, and please come and join these people at some point. Like, it's not saying they're an exclusive clique that no one can join. It's saying please become a part of that.
Sure, that makes sense. I think there's a system within Twitch as well to facilitate that, because I think the more there's these achievements that you can hit on Twitch, and a lot of the rewards they give is more VIP slots. So obviously the more people that are becoming part of that core community, and the bigger your stream is growing, that sort of goes out. We've also had instances, kind of linking back to something we said earlier on, where people requesting that sort of thing, or even I've seen like there's something in the affiliate agreement about not letting people effectively buy that sort of thing, like with bits or with subs,
really,
or
I don't even
know. But yeah, like we've all seen how you react to that sort of thing. But what's going on internally? Because obviously externally you sort of turn it into a bit of a joke, like, "Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thanks." What's going on internally when these messages are coming in?
I just try and relate to the person. I'm like, in what situation would I ever have done that myself? And there just isn't. It doesn't matter what age I was. It doesn't matter what mental state I was. It's just not built in my personality to jump in someone's chat and be like, "Can I be a mod?" I can only excuse the fact they have to be young. If you're over 18 and doing that, come on, like, come on. But if you're under 18, I suppose.
For sure.
Yeah, and like I think again, I try and put a positive spin on it. I think that person might not necessarily have many friends at school, or might be having a tough time in a day, and they want that instant connection that they don't know how to work for yet. That's the really over positive way of thinking about it. The realistic way of thinking about it is they are being very rude.
Yeah. I think the fact that that's probably the first thought that comes to you, rather than thinking that this guy's just been a rude wee dick. Like, there's the fact that he's going, oh, what could be going on to make this guy or this girl ask this question. Again, just sort of relates back to, it just all kind of relates back to the how genuine the vibe on your channel and community is, because I see stuff like that, and I'm obviously, I mean, you've seen, and I occasionally feel like I might have to rein myself in slightly, because I'm making sort of little jokes and digs and that.
I thought about this exact situation, mate, last night. I thought about this because you were like, my bad. You wrote MB actually, because I was maybe thinking, what's MB? Oh, my bad. But I actually need.
I didn't know what MB is. Yeah.
I know I didn't. I need people like that in my chat to do the stuff that I wouldn't naturally do. Because then if I have people that do that, it backs me up in my head knowing that I'm making the right choice here. I have not overreacted by challenging this person, because you're not doing it confrontationally. You're not saying you're being an idiot. You're not abusing that person. You're saying, well, right, okay, you're not going to say hello. Like, it's normal things to say. And at no point has any of my mods or any of my VOPs ever done that. And that is why they're in that position.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's good to know. There's a concern. I think especially with people that I haven't met in person, there's always a sort of concern in the back of my head, and it relates kind of back to the anxiety thing. I've had confrontations in the past where I get too comfortable, like with a person or with a group of people or whatever, and then end up maybe pushing a joke or something too far. That's given me, and it's something that I think I now overanalyze because it's caused me problems in the past.
Yeah, I've never had that with you, mate. Honestly, never.
So that's good to know. There's a couple of times where I'll be sort of sitting thinking, no, I need to rein it in a little bit. But now that
with me, mate, never.
I've got to go ahead, full throttle. Here we go.
Yeah, Kness, otherwise known as MK, has put, defo your mod's a representation of your channel. Exactly. And I tried to have similar people with a similar ethos or a similar mentality in there. Mods and VIPs, always.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easy, especially when a lot of people are pushing in, like, to reinforce just how amazing ProBhaer and his community are. There's an entire section in his Discord dedicated for people trying to hit affiliate, and there's always people posting there, and there's always people going to maybe get them that extra follow or that extra viewership number or what have you. I think it's easy when you hit affiliate to think that the mod's job is just to monitor chat and sort of time out or ban or like that sort of thing, but as Kness has said there, their job first and foremost is to just be an extension of your vibe, of your energy.
Spot on.
And if you have, like, obviously the people who come out like, oh, can I be a mod? Like, they're not going to be aligned with your ethos. So it doesn't really make sense.
So much funnier a Scottish accent.
We've got Nat saying mods and VIPs mean the world. The bits and subs not relevant. Blocks is saying, if you're a mod in my channel or anyone's channel, you do truly have to trust them, and not just because they've got that little sword, and that little sword means to even a casual viewer that person has been chosen as, like, to stand as your lieutenant or whatever, and when it comes to Twitch. But also there's like a degree of power you're given that person. Like, obviously they can change your, like, mess about with your title and your game and your all that sort of stuff, and ban people. And if the person that you're making your mod isn't completely aligned with you, then maybe they're timing out or banning for stuff that you would maybe just give a slap in the wrist for or whatever. So
yeah,
it is a really...
I feel like with mods, you have to be able to trust them with your bank account. That's the kind of level you want to have trust in your mods. That's genuinely how I think about it. If I gave this person my bank account details, would they spend any money on it?
Every single one of your mods. If you're let's say you set up a honey trap situation where you accidentally DM'd your mods your bank account details, you would trust every single one of them to not spend a penny.
Yep.
See, I think you trust your mods more than I do. I've only got the one, to be fair, and we've been best mates for 20 years, but I'm still not sure he would just to send me a lesson. He would send me something stupid just to be like, oh, that's what you get for leaking your bank account details.
That's different. That maybe would happen. But I guarantee they'd also go, here's the money back.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's the thing.
Dan in your chat. Can I just have your Twitch account, Matt? This is the big question that
Yes,
we've been building up
Dan.
to.
Yes. I'll
Username and
DM you my
password are
details.
on the
Do you
way.
want my bank details as well, or?
Just want your personality, your life, really. Just tear off your face and just...
Send it in the post.
Nat's shocked that you trust Becker's with your bank. You would trust Becker's with
do.
your bank account.
I do. I've known Becca's for a long time. I do. He's a softie at heart as well.
I don't have really anything else. I've got notes. They're exhausted now. We've just been chatting for the last 40 minutes or so. We've just been winging it. We accidentally covered, and Jess actually covered a couple of things I wanted to ask, so we've covered it all quite quickly. What's coming up? What's next on the channel? What's happening next over the next week, month on twitch.tv/ProBhaer?
Oh my God, official. I am trying to be better at this part of my Twitch journey, organizing collabs, organizing community events, because it's something I've not really done because, again, the little bit of anxiety comes through and goes, no, you're not good at this. And then I shoot myself down. But that being said, beautiful human called Master Wayne TV, myself and him are doing a joint community tournament on Friday where everyone is welcome. All Warzone players are welcome. Come with a team of 3, and all his community and all my community kind of come together, because perfect example of someone with a similar ethos. Someone came in called B Summers to my channel, must have been just before I went to Australia. I went, oh my God, you remind me of someone called Master Wayne.
This was one of those last few streams before you left.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do
remember. I don't think
shit.
I've ever seen such an instant connection between two human beings.
It's insane.
It was love at first Twitch.
It actually was.
Between ProBhaer and Master Wayne.
He called me beautiful. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. That's it now. You're with me for life. But yeah, and like, I went into a stream and I just smiled within the first 5 seconds. I was like, okay, this guy I'm going to get on with. So I said, I don't usually go, when people say, go and check this person out, I never usually do. But when someone says, you remind me of this person, the ego inside me goes, okay, let's see what I come across to people
secretly think of.
Yeah.
Mate. Yeah, for sure.
So I went in and then, oh my God, instant connection, like boom, straight away. So yeah, Friday, 8 o'clock, we're doing a joint tournament, which is going to be amazing. I cannot wait for that. But apart from that, there's nothing official that's going to be happening. I do want to do another singing stream at some point, but I don't have any new material.
I think you're making a big deal out of new material than anyone else is. I think
right.
If you were to sing exclusively songs that we've heard 100 times, we would still all be there.
I think it's my dad's voice in my head going, "You've already sung that, Matthew."
Oh, really?
That's yeah. I can imagine the great Graham, and he nearly dropped my second name then. Ooh, Graham saying it in my head, being like, "No, you sung that one. Have you got any new material?"
Nobody knows your real name. You're like Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Almost everyone does, but please don't write in the chat if you do know it, because most of you do.
Nat's just asked what we all love to hear next. When are you and I playing Warzone? And we've got tentative plans to play on Monday, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Damn right. Monday is the plan. Monday morning, right?
Monday morning. Yeah, I'm off on Monday, so I will. I'll maybe even stream it as well.
Oh goodness!
I'm considering streaming more next week because I'm off on. We were chatting earlier on about resetting the batteries and taking the time that when it's needed. But I know that's coming up for me the way I've felt recently. I'm starting to. I've got better at recognizing the warning signs because of everything that I've gone through in terms of not recognizing them and completely burning out, and then going through the therapy and that sort of stuff. So I already had a long weekend for the bank holiday weekend, Easter weekend, and I'm just taking the 4 days. So from this Friday until like a week and a half, basically, for only using 4 days annual leave, and I'm absolutely buzzing. So yeah, I'm going to try and stream more, but I'll probably stream that, which will be good because I'm playing Warzone on Friday with Griff, Bright Spark, and Lewis. So that'll be the Scottish streamer squad. That'll be a good laugh. So that'll get.
Oh, are they doing? Is Griff doing his own little thing? He was one of the people I was going to ask actually to come in the community tournament. Is he doing his own?
I think we're planning and starting at 8, which I think is roughly when your customs are starting. That's why I was asking if it was quads.
I mean, it was not decided yet. It's not decided if it's trios or quads. I just said trios because more people are likely to have 3 than 4. That's the only reason.
If it was quads, we've got a Discord for the message for the 4 of us. So I had a short message going, we could do this, and we know that's probably not going to be quite as random or quite as sweaty as the regular.
There's all varieties of people, mate. All varieties of people. You might even get Claire Bay in a game.
Do you know Medabots, the anime, the cartoon?
No, I
No.
don't.
Stu in my chat's asking who your favorite Medabot is. But if you
Oh no, I
if you haven't
don't. I
if you
don't.
haven't
I'm
seen
sorry,
it,
Stu.
you won't have one.
Sorry, Stu. I'm just going to quickly pause and say, Dudley, no, you're fine. I wasn't talking about you. I love you, mate. Chill. Get out your own head. We love you. Relax, my friend.
Okay.
And no, he's thinking we were talking about him, and I keep seeing it, and he's like, "Are you talking about me?" And I'm like, "No, we're not talking about you, bro. We love you. I told you how much I love you. You're good. You're a good human." So you need to know, do I watch football? Oh, that's a loaded question for the podcast. Yes. Oh my God, that should be the theme of the podcast. Yes, I do. MK.
If I do end up making a theme, I'm coming to you for vocals.
It's Hutch'n'Such.
Someone clip that. That's what we need. That's it. Yeah. So other than the community games on Friday, and then you and I getting some lovely duos in on Monday, there's nothing that's solid enough planned. Obviously, you said there's a couple of things that are maybe at some point in the future that just need organised and such. Surely at some point, like surely you could just get George to organise the tournament or whatever. Like if you're trying to do another charity thing, just get someone else to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely no way, Napper. He is worse than I am at organisation. He is shite.
Just pass it off. Just find one of your mods or VIPs that likes that sort of thing, and just
that would be lovely. Whoever's good at organisation, he'll take all the stress away. I tell you, like, yes. If someone else would be willing to organise my community tournaments, I do one a week. That's genuinely how I feel about it. But I just hate the stress behind it.
Blocks is clipped and I need it. I'm going to download that.
I don't know how clear the raindrop sound came through, but I hope very clear.
Crystal. I heard it absolutely crystal clear.
That's what you get for a Shure SM7B, just a raindrop crystal clear sound.
Well, I mean, yeah, like talking about that, something else we can sort of move on to if you don't mind hanging around a bit longer.
No, it's all, man. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
You recently started playing Warzone on PC. Obviously, you like night and day difference, right, with the frame rate and the field of vision and all that sort of stuff. In terms of, you don't use your mouse and keyboard, obviously, but in terms of like your mic and you're getting a new headset delivered, aren't you?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Because headset's quite one that a lot of people will ask about, because in a game like Warzone or generally any first-person shooter, your headset can be the difference between winning a gunfight and losing it. So what headset is it that you're getting that lets you play like you do?
I actually have an admission to make. My friend Bowser, who's one of my mods, he's known as Beezy in my Discord. I played COD with him back in the day. He was in my team. I say my team. We were in a team together called Team Frantic, and he was like one of the people.
I heard it was your team. That's what I
heard. Don't start. He's gonna kick. If he's in here right now, he's always lurking as a mod. He's gonna kick off. No, but he is incredibly knowledgeable this kind of stuff. So he heard me talking about it. He went, mate, just to let you know, I heard you talking about you having a new headset. Here's a link to 3. See which one you want. There was an A40 available. Astro A40s are the one, really. They're the expensive but not ridiculously expensive headset to get. But mate, these ones here, £35, I think it was from Argos, and they've been absolutely great for me for nearly a year. So if people are on a budget, they're called the Turtle Beach Recons. I've gone for the Turtle Beach Atlas. I think they're called something Atlas. It's a little bit more expensive than these ones, but anything Turtle Beach you can't really go wrong with on a budget. But the ultimate goals are like Steel Series are very good. Razer headsets are very good. But as long as you have your settings right and you have some form of headset, you need it in Warzone. You just need a headset because
that's probably a more important part rather than relying on like X headset or having a specific controller. Just being comfortable with what you're using is so much more important than that.
Yeah, exactly. This one's been fine. Stop
changing your sensitivity, Nat.
Yeah, Nat.
Nat, come on, stop changing your sensitivity.
Nat, stop it.
So obviously, bog standard headphones. Is it just the controller that has the hacks then? Or...
this beautiful controller here that you're still plugged into. Yes, this is my hacks controller. This is my Xbox Fusion Pro controller. It's got paddles on the back. It has the facility to have four slots, but I take the 2 out because 4 paddles is just too much.
Right analog stick. It's like a joystick sticking in
your
controller.
So I've got 2 things on here. I've got a precision ring here, which basically means that I can play at high sensitivity, but it creates a resistance. So if I'm moving slow mouse, it creates that resistance so I can be precise with my aiming, but also I can flick around really fast if I need to. And this is a control freak grip. So basically it has the effect of like, say if you're, what's the kind of same analysis of it? It just creates like an easier way of being even more precise with it, and the grips on it, which are now a bit worn down, but also help you keep the grip on the controller. But I don't know why I can't. The science behind it is. Say again.
Useful for sweaty hands.
Oh yeah, me and Hutch, we decided we both have really sweaty hands.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Right now, you can probably see actually. No, not in this lighting, you can't. But
I think I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, you can see. Look,
oh no, you can. Oh no.
See, always. They're never not sweaty.
Glistening.
Look at them.
You don't sweat, you glisten.
I glisten. I mean, look at my sweaty forehead as well. Look at it. It's really hot in here.
Yeah.
But look at this lighting. I've got a ring light. Got my bloody floodlight down here. It's ever so hot.
Lighting's huge. It's part of like I don't know. Like I think a lot of people, when you get to even I mean, not disparaging or like self-deprecating or anything. I'm obviously, as a streamer and as a community, not at your level, but even when you get to the people, I think it's as soon as you hit affiliate, I think the people who aren't affiliates think that you're doing something different and better. And I've only found recently, and I wish I had realized earlier on, just how bad my lighting was. I haven't changed my camera, and I don't know if I put the before and after in your Discord.
You did do it, yeah, you did.
Oh, it was this exact same position. All it was is there's a light there and there's a light there. The lighting, rather than, you don't need like the more expensive camera or anything like that. Lighting makes
no. Like this camera was 30 quid, and the difference is ring light off. That's the difference in the lighting between a £15 ring light. Like that was, by the way, if Wheezy Riddle is still in here, that was her suggestion. A major nosebleed. Like, this is what I've been playing with for the past however long, and people are like, you can't really see your face. It's like, nah, it's not really a thing. Then I look back, I was like, yeah, it definitely is a thing.
So it takes realizing, it takes getting the new. Oh, it's orange now. Oh, there you go. Get a rave on.
Oh my!
That'll be
my
a
God.
a lot of ring lights have warmth settings.
I'm feeling really, really warm. Oh, this is. Thank you. You've made me find a setting that I really like. Not this one. Not that one, but that one.
You actually look like you've come back from Australia with a tan, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, this is the one now. Thanks, mate.
There we go. Yeah, is there anything outside of lighting and avoiding follow for follow, if we were to sort of leave it on any advice for newer or smaller streamers, anything that you feel outside of just make real connections with people, which feels like such an obvious answer, but it's it's frequently not the one people get given. Is there any sort of step that you think smaller streamers aren't doing that they could do and it'll make all the difference in the world?
Don't fake anything. Don't fake anything that doesn't feel real to you. If the second you fake anything, people can sense it immediately. Just be yourself.
I don't know. Sometimes I pretend to be a pigeon.
That's true. But I've heard you actually are a pigeon.
Yeah, this is the mask.
Yeah. I heard it's Harry Potter, and you actually that's the mask. Matrix in hell. Yeah, but no, I just it's gonna, again, it's such a catchphrase, but be yourself. Don't fake anything, because it's just so obvious. Even there's like, literally, my job as an actor, if I fake things, people would know immediately. And don't be obsessed with numbers. Do not look at them. If you're someone who's obsessed with numbers, turn them off immediately. Off.
I found that helped. Obviously you can have the sort of thing sitting at the top of your stream preview. I've got how long I've been streaming for, and I've got my bitrate just to make sure that the connection is healthy. I've found that turning off viewers and then maybe checking it at the end of the stream or at the end of the week or whatever, if you want to see how it's going, but not having that actively going up. Because when you see that, because naturally in every stream, in every stream that'll dip, and whether the dip is going from 8 to 5 or going from 30 to 21, like if you see a dip in that, there's no way of stopping yourself from thinking, what am I doing wrong? Like, why are these people leaving? Why is no one sort of hanging around? So turning that number off and just hanging out, just like that's all it really needs to be, is just vibing, just chilling out, and it'll just kind of happen. So being genuine is ProBhaer's #1 big tip for making it on Twitch.
Be genuine. Don't fake anything. Cool. Bogus says you should ask him to put the mask on. Wink face. It's amusing. You know what? I actually got a forward roll with the mask on last time I was with Claire watching Mr. Hutch, and it was beautiful.
That's not happening today.
Just so you know, it's not happening today.
There's no forward. That clip exists.
Watch it
if you want to go and watch. That was a little while ago. That was early January, if I'm thinking
right. That was lovely. That was so. Before I went to Australia, it was so lovely.
Yeah, Senator's saying took numbers off the overlay because they were too busy. He was too busy watching it. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's just there's no point on.
And Senna, for example, is Jay Senna in your chat? Yeah.
Yep.
And Senna is the person who is flying. The irony is he's taking numbers off and he is flying through the roof because he's found his niche. He's found his niche. That is actually that's number one. Find your streaming niche. Find what complements you the best. My best mate. One of my best mates, I'm going to call him my best mate because he's, a prick. One of my best mates, Technic System, has found his niche. He was streaming Warzone for so long, and he struggles to sometimes interact with chat at the same time because he's so invested in the game. Started streaming Subnautica, it's doubled his numbers in 2 days. As in, people interacting, all these new people I'd never come across in the chat, interacting with him. Find your niche, find what suits your personality.
I think a big part of that as well is, when I started streaming, the game I was most into, as I said earlier, with my love-hate relationship, was League of Legends. And games like Warzone and League of Legends and things like that, it's such a crowded market. And if all you have to sort of draw the people in for the first time, obviously, like does ProBhaer or myself, getting people to stay once they're in the door it's not the easy part, but you've got control over that. You can't control when people come to the stream, but you can control how they view you during the stream. But if you're one of 10,000 people playing League of Legends, or you're one of maybe 50 people playing Final Fantasy X, playing something, and not just because it's a smaller game that still has to interest you and things like that, but playing things where you've given yourself the best chance to be noticed, is the only way to get noticed, really. I think that's easy. That's probably easier for me to say. I'm something of a variety streamer, and Bogus, for example, has really he floated into the stream once while I was playing Super Metroid, and hung around and hasn't missed a stream since, and is an amazing guy, and has a question. Do you think it's a good idea to address people in the chat who aren't really saying anything, or in general, do you think it's a good idea to watch the user list though streaming?
Never look at it. Never, ever, because I lurk quite a lot. I don't get involved a lot because when I'm doing stuff, if I'm with Claire, I'll have it on in the background. So I will either not see it, and then you as a streamer will be like, well, what the hell is that person doing? And it creates a whole kettle of fish. But I know there's a lot of people. So for example, right now, look at the top right. There's 24 people in here. So if I look at people who've talked in the last 10 minutes, there's 4.
Yeah, there's a handful.
There's 20 people in here who just want to watch and relax as if they're watching something that they don't want to physically get involved in. And if they don't want to, they feel uncomfortable. Yeah, they want to say what to say.
They're just engrossed by us.
It must be.
Yeah.
It must be, right? It's your beautiful mug. And, they 20 of the people, they'd rather watch it. They'd rather not go over. And forcing someone to do, it's quite an extreme way of saying it, but forcing someone to do something they don't want to do will put them off and they won't want to come again. That's just my advice. Kind
of links back to the everything just does link back to just knowing that people are different. And if there's an introverted person who just wants to chill out and watch the content in real time, if I bring up my user list and I see Becker's is in chat but he hasn't said anything, and I'm like, all right, Becker's, and that's enough, as you say, just some people just close the channel down and that's it, you've lost that viewer forever. I'll do it with my closest friends.
Of course, because you know their reaction then. You know what they're going to say. Yeah, they're fine with it.
If I'm 15-20 minutes into a stream and there's not much chat going, but I see Simon's watching but hasn't said anything, I'll be like, oh, you just leaving me on lurk then, are you, Simon? Sort of thing. And just got to get a bit of banter. But if it's someone that I don't know well or don't know at all, I'm not going to... The only time I think I struggle with that is when they follow, because when someone follows, I'll always say hi, how are you, welcome to the stream.
Of course, that's fine.
Sort of how do you how did you come across the channel, kind of thing. And then when you don't get an answer to that, obviously some people just want to lurk, and it's kind of like, all right, okay, cool, rather than forcing the idea of being like, hello, like, I'm asking you a question, just coming across different dick.
Yeah, absolutely don't do that. Under no circumstances be like, hello, I said something to you, just no, just please,
so
please no. Please no.
There's 100.
That would be my advice. It's only my opinion.
Streamers to watch, and just try not to put people off watching you.
Yeah.
I'm knackered. I don't know about you. This has been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm going to do more often, so I'll keep people updated with that. As I say, I'll need to get a theme tune, and I'll need to get all this sort of advertising material done, and it's going to be a whole thing.
I've got a didgeridoo in my voice, so I can do a theme tune for you.
That's all we need. That's all we need. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on, and for the chat, for the honesty and everything. Knew we were going to get it, but I really appreciate it, and I'm sure
it's been amazing, mate.
It's been lovely. Well. And
it's been a real pleasure.
I'll no doubt catch you tomorrow morning during your stream.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
What we playing tomorrow? Is it Warzone or is it Cooking
No, I was thinking
Mama?
Siege, mate. I was thinking Siege.
What about Siege? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really good at it.
Yeah. Again, it's genuinely, fit any point you fancy getting into that, let us know, and we'll sort of show you the ropes. It is a very different experience, but it's a great one. In my opinion, I'm a bit obsessed at the moment.
I'll get over myself and not being good at it immediately.
Yeah. There's a lot of transferable skills. You know how to put your controller. See, the only thing is, I don't really think it's going to work with a controller on PC, just because they sort of spinning.
I'm never going to play it. That's it.
You sort of whip round on people quickly, so we'll see. But you know how to put the aim on someone and then click the button to kill them, so you should be all right.
I'm all right.
That's the baseline, and then it goes from there.
All right.
Right, well, I'm going to wrap up then.
Lovely, mate.
Thank you very much again for hanging out, and everyone in both channels for the questions, especially. That really kept me going. Yeah. I appreciate that. And I mean, I'm done streaming. Is there anything else that?
No, all good, mate. All good. I'll do one last game of COD, and then I'm going to end myself.
Fantastic. Well, I will come along and watch that. That's actually raid you in real time.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness.
Right, I'm going to call the stream there, everybody. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back with this another time, because this has been a lot of fun.
All right, all the love, mate. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
What a fantastic time that was, chat. Whoa, I'm doubled up. We're going to go ahead and raid ProBhaer. I'm not going to fix this nonsense with the camera just now because it's bullshit. Thank you for the cheers. I didn't really get to address any of those, or the follows. Obviously, appreciate them all the same. We're going to jump ahead, catch ProBhaer playing a game of Warzone. I'm going to probably finish this because I am parched. And I'll see you guys on Friday. I'll probably be on at 7 as the usual for the Scottish Streamer Squad dropping into Verdansk. And then it'll be back into... I can address that another time. My hair definitely does look pinker in the cheaper webcam, which is weird. But I'll need to decide which webcam I'm using in the future, because I do prefer this one. But this one seems to read the colours better. They're different webcams, Gordon. They actually are different ones. Before this raid time's out, we're going to go ahead and go over, because I need to go pee-pee and need to grab a full drink and say hi to Roseanne. So... thank you guys for hanging out. That was a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to do that in the future. I've already got some ideas clicking about who and where and when, so I'll keep you posted, and I will see you guys on Friday.